What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE secret signing. Is the WWE Star injured? Did AEW fine Punk 5 figures? AJ Styles wanted to join the Wyatt family, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Orange Cassidy promo. Orange Cassidy is a comedy character who's done well for himself in AEW and established a loyal core of fans who support him regardless of who he's fighting. While Cassidy's act isn't for everyone, there's no denying the support he has from fans. However, it's often difficult to take him seriously with various shticks such as wrestling with his hands in his pockets, especially when he wrestles serious competitors like Jon Moxley. Last night's in-ring promo by Cassidy provided fans with a different side of Freshly Squeezed, as he boasted of succeeding when people told him he was too small or too different. He also addressed his opponent Jon Moxley, telling Mox he'll need to bring more than a fork to wrest away the International Championship. This serious promo was just what OC needed, and hopefully his match against Moxley won't be stymied by too much comedy. Number 2, new Scissor Trios titles. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass are your new AEW Trios champions, and their fans couldn't be happier. A situation AEW capitalized on last night by having the trio unveil new AEW Trios titles. The belts, which can be scissored when they're attacked, are no doubt a way for AEW to capitalize on the Acclaimed's popularity and sell new merch. Number 3, Les Sex Gods are back, or are they? Are Jericho and Guevara together again? Jericho's long-suffering friend who was ready to part ways with the Ocho after Jericho dumped him at All In. And who can blame him? But fortunately for fans, Jericho asked Sammy to give him one more chance and for them to chase after the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Whilst this could lead to some fantastic tag matches, we feel Sammy has had enough of Jericho's diva-like pity party and is waiting for the right moment to stab him in the back, and when that happens, it should make for an exciting feud. Number 4, Penta and Commander shine. Penta Zero tore the house down with his match against Orange Cassidy, as did Commander when he opened up the show against Moxley. Both men haven't been doing in much in terms of storyline, but they're so talented that AEW often brings them in just because they know they'll deliver. They should be doing more, much more in fact, but kudos to both men for always delivering 110%, even when their only role is making someone else look good. And MJF Cole video was gold. MJF and Adam Cole's short video was a reminder of how much chemistry the two have. The vignette, taped Sunday night after All In, showed MJF recovering from the hellacious match he had with Cole. The promo ended with MJF telling Cole he needed a few days to recover and that he was heading to Paris for some food and for some rats. Once again, they proved the highlight of the night in terms of non-wrestling segments. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, a who's that of wrestling. Fans tuning into Dynamite may have thought they'd accidentally turned into a 2-hour episode of Rampage due to the considerable lack of star power. AEW likely had many stars absent due to Bray Wyatt's memorial, so that's very understandable. But nonetheless, last night's show featured some so-called stars such as the Kingdom that fans likely forgot were even working in AEW, or even worse, had no idea who they were. Sadly, it's just another reminder of AEW's bloated roster and its failure to build up talent due to there being too many wrestlers and too little TV time. And number 2, Wheeler Yuta, BCC's jobber to the stars. Wheeler Yuta is an accomplished wrestler, and at 26, he should be doing more than being the go-to guy whenever the Blackpool Combat Club needs someone to take a pinfall loss. His association with the BCC seems to be helping his career, but now it's become a liability, and it's uncertain how AEW can fix the problem. But there is a downright ugly, a bad build-up for All Out. Last night's show was a complete dud in terms of building up All Out, which looks bad on paper. Fans have seen better lineups for Dynamite specials like Grand Slam or Winter is Coming. But they only have themselves to blame, as it's compounded the questionable decision of booking 2 pay-per-views within a week by failing to give fans any idea what would be on the card for All Out. While it's understandable that AEW couldn't announce every match, they dropped the ball. Now we hope All Out is a success, but if it is, it's only to the fans' goodwill, something AEW had best not take advantage of. But that was our review of Dynamite. What do you guys think of the show? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at, did CM Punk's alleged contacts cost AEW Star a huge opportunity? While the wrestling world continues to figure out what just happened backstage at All In with CM Punk and Jack Perry, a new report suggests rising star Ricky Starks has been caught in the crossfire between Punk and AEW. Fightful Select is reporting that Punk's suspension from AEW may have cost Starks a huge opportunity. One of the matches on the table was CM Punk vs Ricky Starks for the AEW Real World Championship, which would have followed up their series of matches that went down this summer. From what I've heard, it likely would have been the main event. There's no word on the status of the match now that CM Punk was suspended after his physical altercation with Jack Perry. Now, Starks has been serving a kayfabe suspension following his attack on Ricky Steamboat on Collision. Fightful stressed that the suspension was 100% storyline driven and that Ricky wasn't hurt or otherwise unable to compete. You know, Steamboat. It's currently unknown what's planned for Starks next. Next up, did AEW fine Punk 5 figures? A PW insider is reporting that some wrestlers in AEW believe Punk was fined, and that fine may have been in the 5-figure range. Do you think this is too much? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, conflicting reports on Punk vs Miro Showdown. Or was CM Punk looking to start a fight with Miro at All In? A report by Brian Alvarez said that Punk was irate with Miro, but Fightful Select is reporting it was all a big joke. Miro asked Punk how he was doing. Punk said something like, "Okay, unless you want to fight me too," as a joke. Then Miro said, as a joke, said, "Okay." Then CM Punk said, "Then let's take this outside." Then Miro, as a joke, he said, "How about we take this to the ring?" And that's how it was explained to me. Nonetheless, Brian Alvarez claims that's not what he heard and he's sticking to his report. Next up, did AEW drop the ball with travel arrangements? There's more info surfacing on CM Punk's travel troubles getting from the airport to Wembley Stadium for All In. As previously reported, one story is that Punk was expecting someone from AEW to pick him up, and when that didn't happen, he was forced to take the London Underground. But another story is that he wasn't singled out. Now, Fightful Select is adding, it isn't necessarily true that nobody was picked up though. There were instructions relayed to talent ahead of the trip within certain windows that they could be picked up. Outside of that, they could get Ubers and be reimbursed for it. However, Cage Side Seats summarized a report from PW Torch that Punk wasn't the only wrestler underwhelmed with AEW's travel accommodations for London All In. Multiple wrestlers were not picked up at the airport, which is something that WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling handle well when it comes to international tours. Now, whatever happened, a picture is surfaced showing Punk posing with a fan while taking the London Underground. Next up is the WWE Star Injured. Is Xavier Woods hurt again? Well, that's a report coming from Figure 4 Online's Brian Alvarez, who recently reported, "I don't know if it was the chair spot, but I believe that Woods was hurt, so hopefully he'll be back soon." But something happened, he suffered some sort of injury. Woods was involved in a spot on this week's Raw where Drew McIntyre accidentally hit him with a chair. Next up, AJ Styles wanted to join the Wyatt family. And did you guys know AJ Styles wanted to join the Wyatt family? Well, Styles recently joined several WWE superstars in paying their respects to the beloved wrestler and revealed, "All I can tell you is what I know about Wyndham, Bray Wyatt. Amazing character. The one thing that he was able to do is unbelievable. Every direction. It was just, I knew that while I was in Japan watching the Wyatt family, I was thinking, how could I be in this family? How could I find a way to be a part of this crew? Because it was so awesome. And Wyndham did such a great job with Bray Wyatt. It's unbelievable. There's places he took this character couldn't be done by anyone else." Do you think he could have been a good fit for the Wyatt family? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, a secret WWE signing. It looks like the rumors of AOP of Reza and Akam signing with the WWE are true. According to Fightful Select, several sources have told Fightful that months after our initial report, the AOP, Authors of Pain, Legion of Pain have actually been under contract with WWE since 2022, though we haven't confirmed as much. Specifically, we were told it was before Vince McMahon came back because that put a halt on all signings besides new recruits. There have been some signings in recent months, however. This follows the reports that Chelsea Green was signed to WWE for some time before her eventual debut. Interestingly, Eric Young was also signed, but that never happened on TV. Instead, he requested and was granted his release after Vince McMahon returned to WWE. But what should fans expect from AOP? According to PW Insider, there's been a lot of talk within the last few weeks about the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering returning to make some WWE appearances soon, most likely for WWE NXT brand. We first heard the talk about 3 weeks back, and over the last 24 hours there was discussions backstage at last night's NXT taping about them possibly making appearances next month, so stay tuned. Are you guys excited to have AOP back? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.